All right, so let me welcome you once again. We are asked to find this question. We are asked to simplify 2 minus square root of 20, all divided by 1 plus square root of 45. So looking at this question, this is one of the questions you will get in set. So this is what set. So we are going to look at how we can solve this question. So let me start by writing my solution. Let me copy the question again. So we have 2 minus square root of 20 all divided by 1 plus square root of 45. All right. For this question, you have to what rationalize. So we are going to use the method of what rationalization. So we're going to look at how we can rationalize this in case if you meet such questions in your exam, you will be able to what, answer it. So before we can rationalize, now let's break those figures in the radicals, and that is the square root sign. Let's break them into um, product of two factors. So we are going to find product of two factors of each of the 20 and the 45. Okay. All right. So um, I can write here as, okay, let me write maintain my 2 minus. So if I'm finding two products of numbers which are factors of 20, then I will choose 4 times what, 5. At the end of the day, when you multiply them, you will still get what, the 20. Okay, so I've only found what, product of two factors of what, 20. So I'm going to do the same to 45. Now what do you think will be the product of two factors of 45? I know you can tell me, right? So I'll maintain my 1, and then for the 45 I will choose 9 and 5. Yes, I will choose this. Someone may decide to choose a different number, but because I want it to be smooth for me, that's why I've chosen 9 and 5, and here to have chosen what, 4 and 5. Now the whole question, someone can work it straight away, but because of some of our students, when you do it straightforward, some of them come back and ask again, say, this question I didn't understand. That's why I want to take my time and take you through step by step so that you get the concept well. Okay, so let's continue. Now once I've gotten those two factors, then let me continue by writing 2 minus. Now I can also write the whole thing as square root of 4 times square root of 5. So I'm still on the 20 and I'm still on the 45. So I will do the same here. Let me make corrections here. Here is supposed to be plus, so here is plus. Sorry for this mistake. Okay, all right. So I'll maintain my 1, then plus, then I'll do the same here. This is square root of 9 times square root of what, 5. Okay, so let me continue. Now when you get to this point, because 4 is a perfect square, 9 is also a perfect square, so the work becomes what, easy. So I will still maintain my 2 here minus. So what is the square root of 4? I know you can tell me. So if you had 2, then you're right. Okay, times this, because 5 is not a perfect square. So if you to what find this, we will use our calculator. We are going to get what decimal numbers, but we don't want that, so we still maintain what the root 5. And since we are multiplying, so it will be 2 root what 5. All right, now let me do the same to the denominator. So I have my 1 here plus, so what is the square root of 9? And that one too, what do you think will be the answer? So if you thought of 3, then you are right, times the square root of 5. Okay, good. So once I've been able to reach this part, then the rest of the answers become what easy. So once I have this, I cannot break it again, so I can go ahead and do the rationalization. But how do I do rationalization? Before I will do rationalization, I have to consider what this one, the denominator. What should I do to the denominator? What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the conjugate of what this, what is here. Okay, so the, what will be the conjugate of this? It's just a matter of what changing the sign here. The sign here is addition, so to find the conjugate of this, we are only what changing the sign to what subtraction, because it's addition. So if I say conjugate of 1 plus 3 root 5 will give me what 1 minus 3 root 5. So just in case, if you find some of these examples and you're asked to find the conjugate of these, this is how you are going to do it. It's only a matter of what changing the addition sign, which is separating the terms. This is one term, this is another term. So the conjugate will be what this will change to what subtraction. Okay, good. So after finding the conjugate of the denominator, then you are going to multiply the conjugate by the whole of what the numerator, and also multiply by the whole of the what denominator. So that means we are finding fraction of this itself. Have you gotten that? So that at the end of the day, it will look like we will still get the whole of this back. All right, okay. So that is the rationalization method that we are using. So I will write the whole of this again. So I'll write 2 minus 2 root 5 all divided by 1 plus 3 root 5. Great. So they said I should multiply, but I should multiply with the conjugate. So I will just bring my multiplication sign. I will write the conjugate, which is 1 minus 3 root 5 all divided by the same thing, 1 minus 3 root 5. Great. So once I have this, then I can just go straight away and then multiply the numerator and also multiply by the denominator. So I'll rewrite this again. I'll write as 2 minus 2 root 5 in one parenthesis, and this one also in another parenthesis. So 1 minus 3 root 5. Then all divided by, I'll do the same to the denominator, which is 1 plus 3 root 5. And then I have 1 minus 3 root 5. Great. So when you get to this point, then don't forget, you are going to recall what we did in algebraic expression. So when you get to this point, we are going to use what expansion of binomials, binomial expansion. So we are going to expand this. These are two terms, set of what? Two terms. When you have set of two terms like this, you have to what? Expand it. Have you gotten? That's what we call what? Binomial expansion. We are going to expand this. So remember what we did in algebraic expression. If we are to expand this, then how do we do it? we take this first term to multiply the whole of this, and then when we finish we take this also to multiply the whole of this. So in other words, we say what break removing the bracket. Yes, so when you expand it means we are removing what the bracket. So if I'm to remove the bracket, then this times this will give me what? 2. 2 times the whole of this will give me what? So I will multiply this by this. I don't have square root here, so I will only multiply this by this, which will give me what? Negative 6. Then I have my square root of what? 5. All right, good. Now when I'm done with the 2, then I will take this one also. So this one to negative 2 root 5 times 1 will give me negative 2 root 5. All right, now I will multiply this also by this. So negative 2 root 5 times negative 3 root 5. Now remember, in one of the rules in indices, if I give you this, if I give you a root 2 times b root 2, so what I will do is, because this and this are the same, so it will be like a times b and then square root of 2 square. Have you gotten it? So that I will get a times b will give me what? Ab. And then times, so this one will go, so times 2, which will give me 2ab. Have you gotten that? Great. So that is what we are applying here. So if I'm applying this, then it means that these 2 will multiply this 3, which will give me what? Plus 6, because this is negative, this is negative. Okay, times, because this and this is 5. Remember when I got here, because the 2 and 2 are the same, so I got 2. So this one, this is 5 and 5, so I will get times what? 5. Okay, great. Now let's do the same to the denominator. Okay, so the denominator too, we do the same thing. So 1 times 1 will give me 1. 1 times negative 3 root 5 will give me negative 3 root 5. Then I will do the same here. So 3 root 5 times 1 will also give me what? 3 root 5. All right. Now 3 root 5 also times negative 3 root 5. So we apply the same here, what we did here. So we are going to apply the same there. So 3 root 5 times negative 3 root 5 will give me what? So this here becomes, so let me write plus negative 9 times 5. Okay, great. So once we have this, then so this one, let's see, this and this are alike. Since we have this, remember also one of the rules, if I have this 3 root a plus 2 root a, because what is in the square root or the radical sign are the same, then I can just add. So I will just add the coefficient, which will give me what? 5. Then I will write one of the square root. But note that if what is here is different from this, then we cannot add. Okay, we only add or subtract when the figure or what is in the square root, they are the same. That's when you can only add. But if they are not the same, you can't add. Don't forget that. Okay, all right, so let's proceed. So let's quickly, that's why I'll write my 2 here, and this is negative 6, negative 2, so I'll get negative 8 root 5, as I explained there. 5, then this times this. Okay, so 6 times 5 will give me what? 30. Okay, so divided by, then here too, because this is negative, this is negative, so this one will go. So I'll have my 1 minus what? 45. Okay, all right. So here I can write this as what? 32 minus 8 root 5, all divided by, so this times this will give me what? Negative 44. 1 minus 45 will give me what? Negative 44. So let me continue from here. So now I have 32 minus 8 root 5, all divided by negative 44. Okay, so I can write here as, I can write it as 8 divided by 44. Then I'll open my bracket, and then I'll write here as root 5 minus 4. Yes, I just wanted to clear this subtraction. So if I want to clear it, then this sign will change to positive, and this becomes negative. And because I've brought 8 out, then here will be 4, and it will be negative 4. I hope you understand that. Okay, right. So let's break this down. Let's find the simplest form of this fraction. So if you have to find the simplest form of this fraction, then we can get here as 2 divided by 11, because when 4 divides 8, we get what? 2, and when it divides this, we get 11. Okay, so root, let me write my root. So root 5 minus 4. So this is our answer. Okay, so the whole thing is the answer. So for this question, the answer we got is what? 2 on what? 11, and then we have what? Square root of 5 minus 4. Okay, so my name is Evans Okay. I'm your facilitator. The name of this channel is Mazrace TV. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and then you can also add your comment under the comment section. So see you next time. Bye bye.